Hello and welcome back to my channel. It has been a while. It has been almost a month, if not a little bit more, and I apologize for that. How was your Christmas? How was your New Year's? I hope it went well for you. I was able to go back to my home state for Christmas and spend Christmas with the majority of my family. It was a good time. But anyway, welcome back to my channel. My name's Amanda. I'm with Whimsico. I like to give you some things that you can do on your own to help you feel better, be more empowered, learn things. That's my thing, is never stop learning, because when you stop learning, why be here? So this is my kitchen and welcome to it. Today we are going to make tinctures. Now, I've made a lot of tinctures, and someday soon we'll do a quick tour of my apothecary that I have. And I'm very, very proud of that, where I have all my tinctures and my salves and balms and things that I have made that are a little less industrialized. I know all the ingredients that are going into it. I source all the ingredients that are going into it, so I don't have to worry. But for a tincture, you'll want to get an 80 proof or above alcohol. I choose a vodka, not an expensive one. This is probably the cheapest one I could get. And I think this one was like $11 or $12. But you get an 80 proof at least. And this one is an 80 proof. So you'll be needing this. I choose vodka because it is a neutral flavor. I guess you could use a brandy, or you could use a rum even. But I don't want tinctures to taste good. You know, medicine usually doesn't taste good. So what I'm gonna do is I have my vodka, and because it's 80 proof, I'll keep the cap on so it doesn't evaporate. And I have my I'm doing 4 today. My 4 herbs that I'm going to tincture. Now, I had leftover white willow bark, but not the alcohol to put it in. So I'm going to be putting my alcohol in this today. White willow bark is one of my favorite tinctures. It can do a lot for you. It helps with people who have inflammation like arthritis, and even helps with migraines, helps with general pain. It was like the original aspirin, and usually won't hurt you. It is a bark, it's not a flower or a leaf. It is the bark of the tree. If you would cut a willow tree, you'll see the gray bark inside. So this is all you have to do to make a tincture. You get yourself a jar, any lid that is waterproof, that you'll be able to shake and it won't like spray everywhere. These are mason jar lids that I got on Amazon. They have a little gasket inside, so they're waterproof. Like, is that what I want to say? I don't know. And then you just take your vodka and fill her up, man. Just fill her up. Now, it's not going to be able to be used right away. You're going to want to let it sit for 4 to 6 weeks in a cool, dark place. This time of year, I don't have to worry about the cool, and generally I don't have to worry about the dark, because we are in winter here in the South. So all I have is cool things in the South. Now, I do recommend that you label everything. Like, you think you're gonna remember, you're not gonna remember. Trust me, I have a good memory, and I thought, no, I'll remember what that is. And you know what? I didn't. So I just put enough in there to cover it all, and then a little bit more. And then I'll put my lid on it, and I will let it soak up the goodness. And every day, while I think about it, or when I think about it, and I will write myself a note or put it in my phone to remind myself to at least tip over every day each tincture that I'm making. And I will do that for 4 weeks. Now my next one here is cramp bark. It's for muscle spasms and cramps. They say typically you can take a teaspoon with water up to 3 times a day if you have muscle cramps. And you can also rub it externally on the area that's cramping. Now, my family history is such that on my father's side, we get some leg cramps. There it is. We get some major leg cramps. So I want to deter that. So I am going to put some cramp bark in my jar, and let's not make a further mess. I'll use this handy dandy funnel and I'll fill it not quite full. I still have a little bit left over. I also use cramp bark to make wild yam cream. It's very good for women in that general area. Again, you just top her off with some 80 proof or higher alcohol. You can use Everclear also. It's up to you. And there, I'm just filling a little bit above where some people fill it all the way to the top. It's fine. What'll happen is it'll start to absorb into, you know, the bark of both the white willow and this one, and I'll have to top it off with more, you know, later on. So now that is my cramp bark done, and my white willow bark done. Made, not done. Now, I have an echinacea and I have a dandelion root here. I already have an echinacea made, so I still have some left over. I have an empty, already pre-labeled jar for the echinacea, but this is how much alcohol I have left. So I want to make sure I have the dandelion root, because dandelion root is good for your liver. You can have like cleanses for your liver, and it'll have the dandelion in it. It's good for your gallbladder. It's good for your gut to help get things moving. If you eat like a dandelion leaf in a salad, which my grandmother used to do, apparently. I've never seen her do it. But I have the dandelion root, so I am going to tincture this. Now, in all actuality, I would like to have a higher grade of alcohol because this is a root, it's not a bark. And a root is, how do I say it? It's tougher to break down. You can do it with the 80 proof, which I am going to do, but it's going to take longer. And you can see I didn't put a whole jar in it, so I'll probably be able to do this echinacea. But this one I am going to let tincture for more than 8 weeks because I want to get the good stuff out of it. Now, when I need to use this as a tincture, I can use it up to 3 times a day, half a teaspoon diluted with water. You know, if I start to notice more blemishes on my face, the tops of my feet, I start getting pain in, you know, that gallbladder area, I would get on a regimen of taking the tincture 3 times a day. And that's why I wanted to do this one. Okay, so there's my dandelion root. And last but not least, it looks like we have enough alcohol to do the rest of the echinacea, because there's only a bit in here and I'm hoping I can use it all. Because once you have it tinctured, and you can't tincture everything, all right, you have to read what can and cannot be tinctured. But once you tincture, something in alcohol will last for years. I've heard up to 50 years plus. It's up to you what you want to keep and for how long. I wouldn't be, what's the word? I would try and use everything that I have. This, I've had for a little bit, and I don't want it sitting around anymore. I want to get all my money out of it and all the uses out of it. And I do use echinacea. Every time I start to feel that tickle in the back of my throat, or this happens to me a lot, you would not believe how often somebody sneezes in my face at work. Now, it doesn't matter what job I had been at, but people sneeze on me constantly. I don't understand. Like, what is your problem? Did your mama not teach you, any type of manners? Cover your freaking mouth. I'm sorry, that just burns me up. I got COVID that way. So please, when you're out there and you have to sneeze, turn your head, sneeze into your arm or something, just not into somebody's face. But anyway, when people sneeze in my face, I come home and it's the first tincture that I'm going to be taking. A half a teaspoon with water 3 times a day you can take. Now, echinacea is a flower, so I would try all of these on the inside of your arm, right here. Put some here and make sure you don't have any type of reaction. You need to test out everything before you ingest it. That's very important, and it's a very responsible thing to do for your body, because you don't want to set yourself off into some alarming reaction, and then you have to try and remember what it came from. So just be responsible when you're doing this. Do the research. I'm just giving you a quick overview of what each thing is for. There are so many more things you can do with these herbs. There's so many ways you can intermix them. And sometimes when I intermix them, I'll do it in a tincture, and I'll typically do it in a shot glass. I'll put my tinctures in the shot glass, and I'll knock a little bit of water on top, and I'll knock it back like that. That's how I do it. But you need to do your homework and your due diligence as well. I am not a doctor. I do not know enough about medicine to help anybody else out with it. I know enough to help myself and my family, and that's what I do. You need to do your own research, okay? This is the last one. This is my echinacea. Hopefully we'll have enough vodka here. And up she goes. Yep, I'm filling this one all the way to the top because I did stuff her all the way to the top. Let me see if I have another one of these caps. I don't think I do. But since this is alcohol and this is metal, I will not be keeping this lid on because it will corrode the lid. That's just the way it is. And it is so full that you really have to get in there and mix. Now this is going to give me a nice tincture. All right, since I have some alcohol left over, I am going to finish up my dandelion root in here. I might even do all the cramp bark, I don't know. I have a lot of herbs sitting, and I want them to do the best for me that they can. Yeah, I want to get my money's worth. You spend money for these things. You also spend money for your medications. And to me, these are medications, so I want to get the best use out of them that I can. And like I said, I will come back and fill them up as needed. And Bob's your uncle. Just vodka and your herbs in a jar with a lid. Make your own tinctures. Learn a little bit of herbalism. So I recommend the white willow bark, the echinacea, cayenne pepper, and mullein. Those are some good things to start out in your arsenal. But again, thank you for watching. Never stop learning, and I will see you in the next one. Bye now, friends.